Centrell. She will ignite your passion and bring your purpose to life. The strategies she shares will take you to higher heights, improving your energy, spirituality, your well-being. A better mindset for your journey to build a better you. She's on fire to take you higher. She's on fire to take you higher. The Simply Centrell Show.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Simply Centrell Show. We are so excited to have some wonderful guests with us tonight. We are talking about charity starts at home. So everyone knows that we have been dealing with a lot in our Houston area, and I want to make sure that we spend some more time talking about all the wonderful good efforts, the good deeds that people have been doing around the city, and how people are stepping up and stepping out to help each other. So before we get started and meeting our guest, I want to make sure I say thank you. I always want to make sure I say thank you. I don't think you can say thank you enough to all of the people that make this show possible, that support the show, the efforts, the platform. We sincerely appreciate you. And as we move into our topic, we're talking about charity, which equates to giving, right? I want to share a little story about my childhood and how I became someone who focuses on giving. And it started with my mom. When we were younger, every time we would go out to buy something new, whether it was a car or it was furniture, we always looked for those individuals who were in need. We didn't throw it out on the street. We actually looked in our own families and with our friends first to see what we could provide for them, and then we would take things to the Goodwill or Salvation Army, and that set a foundation for giving. Parents may not realize it. They actually set the example. Your children watch you, and they see that when you have something, no matter how much it is, that you actually give to others. So don't take that for granted, parents, that you are being watched, and it does stick with you, because it has definitely stuck with me. So we have an amazing guest to start out our show, and we have two additional guests that are going to join us. So right here with me, I have Miss Kathy Essex of CaDori, and we are talking about her charity, Helping Hands. And so as we get into this topic, I want to make sure I remind everyone to like, share, follow at Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have the ability for you to call in 832-230-5592 just in case you want to join the conversation and ask some questions of our guests. So welcome, Kathy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so excited, and it's amazing because everyone may not know this. I met Kathy, what was it, maybe like a month or so ago? Yes, at another event. We were actually at a community event, which kind of tells you how small our circles can be when everyone's out there doing, big things, great things for other people. And it was about bringing the community together. So here we are now talking about charity, which also brings the community together. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kathy.
Okay, well, I'm Kathy, and I have a charity called CaDori Helping Hands. It was started in July, right before the hurricane hit, so that I can start getting supplies for the kids, like backpacks and school supplies. And that's just something I always wanted to do. By trade, I'm a registered nurse for 20 years, so I've always been like a giving type person anyway, but now just a different way.
Okay. Well, see, and I like that because here you're in the profession of nursing. My mom's a nurse, so, It's amazing. I think spirit recognizes
Yeah,
spirit,
absolutely,
right?
yes.
And that's how I felt when I met you, and also your son and daughter who are going to join us a little bit later. So here you're a nurse, which means you care for people, you give of your time,
Yes.
and you make sure that people are well and that they have a smiling face when they're facing some of life's challenges with their health, right?
Yes.
And then to note, you have Helping Hands, which was established, we must say, before Hurricane Harvey.
Yes.
So we want to make note of the fact that you already had a heart and a passion for people. So where did that start for you?
Just as a child, I've always been a giver. I come from a big family, and I'm one of the oldest, so I had to help raise my siblings. So I've always had a giving heart
I know
as a
that
kid.
story.
So I think it just kind of rooted from that point. But all my life, I've been like, a giving type person. Yes.
Yeah. And that is, it's wonderful to see it. I know that as we look through the city, especially some of the articles that were out there, right, they were talking about how Christians and individuals and nonprofits and organizations such as yours came together to provide aid at the time of Hurricane Harvey. I think there was about 80% that they quoted was the amount of aid that was received. Now, this was as of early September, and that's because, of course, it does take time for larger organizations to mobilize their funds, their people, all of those things to address the large need. The thing about it is that we cannot miss how important it was that everyone else came together to support one another. So tell us what Helping Hands has done since July.
Okay, so it started in July, so mainly to start getting the children backpacks for school. So I called around to some of the local charities and some of the local shelters, and they told me they had children there that needed the backpacks. So we got backpacks, made sure they were filled with supplies. So we did that at the end of July, beginning of August. And then when the hurricane hit, we were already up and moving, so we started out by giving water to like Star of Hope, several cases of water, and then since then we've helped probably about 30 families.
Wow.
We fed 100 people at La Quinta Inn in Livingston, Texas. And so we're just helping. Every week we're helping someone with toiletries or diapers or something.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, we're talking about you, yourself.
Yes.
You just started a charity.
Yes.
Right? You didn't go fill out some paperwork and have to make it a nonprofit. You just decided one day that you were going to start a charity, and then you did it.
Yes, I did it.
Yeah.
And just sprung into action. I've always been a giver, so I just made calls. Since then, I've gotten some people that have donated a few dollars here and there, as well as some supplies and clothing. And as I get the things in, every week I'm going out and just like hand delivering them to the people. Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, it's extremely amazing because, as we talk to folks, and some folks are like, well, I don't have anything to give. Maybe I was impacted already, so I don't have anything to offer, or I don't have a lot to offer. You think about some of the larger donations, the organizations that are giving out hundreds of dollars or offering housing, and people feel as though I can't do something as big as that. Mm-hmm. Well, you're an example of starting where you are, right? With whatever you have.
Whatever you have.
I mean, and impacting 30 families.
Yes.
And feeding 100 people. And how did that come about?
I was looking on Facebook and I saw one of my coworkers had posted that these people were at this hotel, and of course they haven't gotten approved for like food stamps and stuff. They lost their homes, so the hotel manager could only feed them breakfast. So they were asking for people in the community or businesses or whatnot to provide lunch or dinner. So when I saw the post, I called the hotel, and indeed they needed the help. So I told them one day I would just, get food together to feed 100 of their guests, and I just did it.
So did you cook this food?
No, I didn't cook it. I ended up ordering like food from a local restaurant. But I can cook though. I could have, but I worked too.
You didn't have to put that flag in there. Yeah, no, that's amazing though. So you reached out to local restaurants.
Yes.
And so coordinating the effort was just picking up the phone and saying, hey, can you help?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
See, because you never know. There are a lot of organizations out there that likely want to help, and they're not exactly sure what organizations to give to. We've heard those things, right? The funds are not going directly to those people in need, or the clothes and all of those things. It's taking a long time to distribute them. This is an example of getting what's needed directly to those people
Absolutely.
impacted.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome. I can't say enough how much of a blessing I consider that to be.
Yes.
Because I know that you're not only sharing this example with everyone who's listening, you're sharing this example with your children as
Yes.
well, and they're seeing that, and I'm sure that they're mimicking it.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us what else you get into, because I know it's not just helping hands. I know that you have a number of other things that you do, so share that with us.
Well, I'm an author, so I've recently written a book, an inspirational book for women. So I'm a motivational, inspirational coach as well.
Okay.
I wrote the book. There's just a ton of things that I do. I love making like crafts and gift baskets and stuff. I haven't put that out there yet, but that's something else that I do in addition to being a nurse and a mom.
And you find time to give.
Yeah, find time to give. Yeah.
So let this be an example that, one, you can start where you are.
Yes.
With what you have.
Yes.
And as individuals, it only takes just for us to pick up the phone and make a phone call.
Yes.
You never know who's going to be willing to join your charge and give so that you can directly help those individuals impacted. Life, hits us with a number of different things. So reaching out whenever you see someone in need is absolutely appreciated, and it's contagious,
It's
right?
very, very.
When you show someone that you can give, then they also start to give. So keep that in mind. Those are the things that I really want to impress upon people as we continue to move through Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Jose, and all the other natural disasters that are coming up. We are going to move to break, and when we come back, we'll get to meet Aesja and Lil JSean, who are your children,
Yes.
and they're going to share with us some of the things that they're doing, and we'll get to meet them and get to know them. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. We are here on the Simply Centrell show, and I am joined with Aesja and Lil Jon, along with CaDori. We are having so much fun in here. What is
So much
happening?
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys.
Hey, I have to say, man, that is like the most awesome intro song. It just really gets you calm.
It does.
And I like that video too, that working out.
It just makes you take a deep exhale.
Did you say you liked the video?
I really like the video.
Let me tell you, we did a lot on that video. That
Okay.
was like, I don't think anybody knows. We probably took about 3 days, bam, just back to back filming
Wow.
to get that done right before the show started.
Yeah.
Well, it looks effortless.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. So we're excited to have all three of you. So
Yes.
we have Three's Company. It's like the big family, right? And we are talking about charity starting at home. So your mom has given like this amazing example of what giving looks like. And
Yes.
the two of you have always been like really bright lights,
Oh,
because
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when
Oh,
I met
thank
you
you.
like a month ago, and you stood up and you were talking, and I was like, who are those kids?
Oh, thank you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Not that you're kids, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
who are they? Like, they're just all smiling and the great smiles and everything, and you don't see that as often. I kind of felt like on that day you guys gave good energy, so
Thank you. I
you.
appreciate
that
that.
was
Really
you're
appreciate
welcome,
that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. So it's a gift, right?
I
Yeah.
would say it's a gift. I think it's also a learned behavior because you have to make it a great day or not. And,
Yeah.
you can choose whether that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously, yes.
Yeah, so when you walk into a room and you have like an amazing smile or an amazing presence, then you give that to everyone there. And so when
Yeah.
we're talking about charity and we're talking about giving, people always think, well, I have to give financially, or I have to
Yeah.
give something that's tangible, physical,
Yeah.
like clothes or shoes or
Yeah.
something. And all of those things are great.
Yeah.
We don't want to forget the everyday give, the thing that we already have. Right?
Exactly.
The smiles,
Mhm.
the good attitudes, the great attitudes.
Yeah.
I say you should wear that armor on a daily basis.
You really should,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you never know how it's going to change someone's day. Like our motto is every time we go in a grocery store, make sure we're on our most positive, because you never know whose day that could make.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
So-
when you said that, you don't even think about it. Oh, a smile can change someone's day, or your attitude.
Right.
So that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
So-
and I think I saw something on your page about that too.
Oh,
Giving compliments.
Yes, good karma.
Yes,
Yes. It was
yes.
actually my last Instagram post. So yes,
Oh,
that
look at
good
that.
karma.
Shameless plug.
Give
Yeah,
and you get.
real-
At
Yes.
AESJA.
Yes.
Two shameless plugs.
Yes.
So now, where did you get that from? Was that something that mom did? Was there like a specific moment, mom, dad did something that made you think, oh wow, this is what I need to be doing? Like, where did you learn it, or did you
Oh
catch
my
it?
gosh. So I would definitely say it's your environment. So I would say it was our parents. I think it was our siblings, our two older sisters, and our oldest brother.
Yeah.
So I just think it's everything. It's definitely your environment.
I think it's definitely that, and also I think because we were raised in that environment, it kind of pushed us to do that. Like when Hurricane Ike came, we volunteered with FEMA, and I was in student council and Interact in high school. So it's just kind of like always been in us.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool because everyone doesn't have that kind of environment,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So now the challenge is, how do you become a giver when maybe you didn't get a blueprint? Maybe you didn't see the examples in mom and dad.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't have a lot growing up, and so you held on to everything that you had. And in times like this, when we're talking about the fact that you kind of already have everything that you need to give, how do you think we can impress upon people to become givers when they may not already be there?
Man, I think it really just starts with a smile. So for the up-and-coming givers or the people who want to be givers, I think it starts with a smile. Then it just starts with, what's the easiest way you can give? Like today I just went to, it was somewhat of an orphanage, and I just had some clothes I don't even wear anymore. And I went in there, it was like five teenage boys, and you could tell that really made their day. So just start giving just in the easiest way you can. Then you can work your way up.
I think so too, because I think, whenever some people set financial things that they can give, it kind of, in some people's minds who don't have that to give, it blocks off, oh, well, I don't have anything to give.
Right.
But everyone has a gift. Everybody can smile. Anyone can give a compliment.
Right.
So it just goes with starting off with, what do you feel like you can give? And then just giving what you're getting.
Right.
Yes.
Giving what you're getting, or giving what you're getting and giving what you expect to get.
Yes.
Right?
That's
So
it.
you're talking about that karma and the intention of giving. And I had the opportunity to be on the Deborah Franklin show last night.
Ooh, congrats
that's
on that.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. And so we were talking about good deeds. And when you do good deeds, and there are a lot of people out there that do good deeds because it's in them.
Yeah.
We see that, you can have that in you. And there are other people who do good deeds because someone's watching.
Yeah.
And not that it's the worst thing, it's just that being intentional about giving is important, right? Because it comes across, right? So, and especially in an environment where we do a lot of social media,
Yes.
Everything that we post, people want to know what we're doing, how we're doing it, how many people are watching, liking, sharing, all of those good things. Sometimes it's hard to see the authenticity. What are your thoughts on that? Especially because I know, as a part of your millennium, you spend a lot of time on social media. How do you maintain authenticity in your giving?
I think you just have to spend a lot of time with yourself. I think once you learn yourself, you learn what you like and what you want to do. I think whenever you're surrounded by people all the time, you don't allow yourself to have that quiet space. It's hard to tell, what type of person you are. And if you don't know yourself, you can't be authentic to yourself because you don't know what your goals are.
Yeah.
But I think it's just mostly just really feeling what you give, because if you don't give from your heart, it's not really giving.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mom?
That's right.
Oh, I feel the same way. I just made a post last week. I think I said it's very simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So, a lot of times people don't want to put themselves in that position, but you have to almost think about, okay, if this was me, if this was happening to me, what would I do? And then a lot of times if you just do that, sometimes you'll get a good answer right away.
And that's the CaDori brand. I mean, we're talking
Brand right
that's
there,
it.
that's it.
I mean,
Hey, we're done. That's it. Yeah.
What was that? That was like back in, that was like something we learned from a long time ago.
Yes.
These things stay with us. Not only that, they're true. Like you can put all the different words on it, throw a bow on it, some bling, whatever. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be greeted?
I
Right?
like that.
So I want to be greeted with a smile.
Right.
I want to be greeted with a pleasant attitude.
Right.
When I'm in need, I don't necessarily want to have to say, I need help. I want someone to see. I mean, you can see people are in need. We see it all over the news, right?
Right.
So we know that there's a need out there.
Yep.
Does someone need to come and knock on your door or call you and say, hey, will you help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
it's
is
a vibe.
that?
It's definitely
It is a vibe.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
it's definitely a vibe. Yeah, you can't teach it.
You have to have a
No.
vibe to give. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's
yes,
it. You
have
have
to have a vibe.
Mhm.
All
Because
right.
if you're
Yeah.
not giving from the heart, it's not really going to be received in that way. It's received in however you give it.
Yeah.
And one thing I saw, I don't know if you have seen it, but it's a lot of people that are giving, but you could tell it's not from the heart. I don't know if you've seen that, especially since Hurricane Harvey. But you can feel when people are giving from the heart. What? Let me hear your thoughts on that.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. So no, you absolutely can tell when people are giving from the heart,
Yeah.
and and that's what I was saying about a lot of the social media posts. Like we've done so many different things for the community, and I've had an opportunity to participate in a lot of projects, probably over the last couple of weeks, and I have not posted barely any of
That's
them.
good.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, why would I do this? Like I spent some time at George R. Brown and on a few occasions, and I felt some kind of way about Facebook Live.
Yeah,
We're walking through
uh-huh.
George R. Brown, and people are they're there with their children. The children are having fun. They're
Yeah,
in
yeah.
George
They
R.
don't
Brown.
realize what's happening.
They don't.
Yeah.
And the parents are thinking, what are we going to do? Where are we going to live? The next meal. George R. Brown did a great job of having all of those things for them. They know that at some point they have to leave.
That's good.
And you saw a lot of people that were on their phones. And
Yeah.
I'm here and I'm doing, it's like,
I know.
I don't
It's
know.
because that
Weird.
CNN though, all that press, so they feel like if I do that, I feel like I'm in with it too.
Yeah.
I think it's like a double-edged sword because sometimes when you do post, it can encourage other people to give who may not have thought that.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's a vibe. Like I haven't posted a lot of things like I did. Like today, we donated some waters to a nursing home, and certain things I just don't post because I just want to be in the moment.
And if you do, I would say respect people's privacy. Just like how you
Yeah.
said when you went to George R. Brown, if you were to post, I wouldn't post really necessarily to people's faces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I just went up to that orphanage and then I blocked out the people's, faces in there because it's just, that's their privacy,
Yeah.
So
there is a
Yeah.
respectful way of letting people know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you do want to let them know.
Yes.
I get that, people say you don't post it, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
That's only the truth.
Exactly. You have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
You do.
And I like being in the moment. I
Me too,
like not
yes,
having the
yeah.
distraction of, oh my God, did I get that on Instagram? Did I do
Did I
Facebook?
Snapchat that?
Exactly.
All of those things, as opposed to truly engaging with the people that are there,
Yes.
kind of hearing their stories. They've gone through a lot. The last thing they want is a camera sitting to the side
Exactly.
Yes.
because you want to catch the perfect moment. And I think that that's another way of giving, right? Like you said, being in the moment. When you give people your attention and you let them know that there's nothing else in this moment that is more important
Than
than
you.
me helping you.
Yes.
Me talking to you, me engaging with you, me hearing your story. And I
Like
think
that.
that's another amazing gift, and people miss that because our phones are such great tools. They're
Yeah.
also distractions.
Yes.
Oh,
You
it
know,
is.
They
it
are,
is,
and my
yeah.
Instagram followers will know that I do take hiatuses because I can't be on there all the time. It just kind of takes away something from you,
Yeah.
you know.
So I know that we have two projects for the two of you. I know that you are an advocate for autism and you have the Kindness Project.
Yes,
So
yes.
tell me about that real quick. Tell me about
Okay.
yours.
Okay, so the Aesja Foundation for Autism, it was founded based off of my nephew Juan, who's diagnosed with autism when he was 3. And I saw all of the hard work my sister had to do to get the resources for him and get the information. So we're really a resource for people who have kids with autism that need resources. But, now that Hurricane Harvey hit, we're also helping in as many different ways that we can, donating to places that have autistic kids that may not have everything that they need. So that's what we're about.
Pretty awesome.
And my charity, the Act of Kindness Project, that was, it kind of bothers me a little bit when I see homeless people on the side of the roads, when I go under the bridges. So that's what that charity is aimed towards, is really aiding the homeless and just volunteer work all in general. We'll go up to the Montgomery County food bank and we'll just, lend a couple of hours there, or, just like giving out clothes.
Yeah.
So it's just all over.
I love it. So you're getting the collective of
Yes.
individuals here
Everything.
today on the show that are all about giving, charity, and doing what we can can. Make sure to like, share, follow on @SimplyCentrell. We will be right
Share
back.
now.
Yeah, share it now.
And
Share it now.
and you said synergy.
Welcome back to the Simply Centrell Show. We are here on Synergy 1480 AM. Thank you for joining us. We have Aesja, CaDori, and Lil JSean joining us, and we're talking about charity and how it starts at home. Just in case you want to call in, 832-230-5592. And so we're going to continue the conversation. We're talking about the experiences that we have had in giving and where those lessons have come from, right? So before we left from the break, we were talking about Aesja's Autism Foundation and also the Kindness Project that Lil JSean has taken on. And before we move into all of the different things you're doing there, I want to know what your impact was, or what impact did your family have through Hurricane Harvey?
Woo!
Ooh,
Well,
man.
okay, so we were in Dallas at the time filming something that's going to come out soon.
A music video.
Okay, you're just going to say it. But whenever we got back, our house was flooded with like an inch of water, but we didn't let that affect us because we were like, there are people out here who have worse. So we drove around, we hit some neighborhoods in Conroe, and we got to give a family who literally lost their entire house just some toiletries with CaDori Helping Hands, and then Mom, you could say the other thing, the big thing.
So, we had damage, but it wasn't as bad as most people. Like, we ended up having to rip up some carpet and do some stuff like that. But for the most part, we're not like everybody that lost everything. So we're still having to replace some things, but we're still blessed. We have our life. We still have our health and strength. We have our job. So I'm still helping. Like my charity was already up before that, so I just kept on going. So I'm still giving,
Absolutely. What was your experience, JSean?
Oh, man. So I just think we're just blessed all around. Like, the fact that we were in Dallas at that time, I think that's nothing but God. And so that really opened up my eyes, and I just said, we really need to give back when we get back, and we were able to do that, so that's just a blessing.
And we got to, all three of us, through three of our charities, we got to provide lunch for some victims who were housed at the La Quinta.
Yeah.
Because, hotels really only serve breakfast, but these people are here because they don't have a home to go back to.
Right.
So we were able to provide lunch for them, and that was really cool.
Yeah. It would be amazing for other young folks to have the same experience, like you were talking about, JSean, with your Acts of Kindness project and getting volunteers together. When I was doing some work at some of the distribution centers, there were parents there, setting the same example as you, CaDori, and I think it's amazing. There was a 5-year-old there, and I didn't have a chance to film her or anything like that. She's 5.
Yeah.
And so I was asking, well, what are you doing here? And she says, I'm working.
Wow.
And I said, you're working? She's like, yeah, we're working. We're doing work for all the people. And I just thought it was so sweet. And I said, well, you're not working right now. She said, I'm eating.
Wow.
And then I'm going back to work, and I'm like, that's where it starts, right?
Yes, that's where it starts.
And they were impacted by the flood. So the fact that they came out, just like you, everyone has had some variation of impact. And to be honest, the way that I look at it is we've all been impacted. We've all been changed by this experience, and it is our outlook. It is what we take from these experiences.
Right.
And as I say, it's not just the natural disasters that come, it's additional things, right?
Yeah.
It's relationships, it's, divorce, it's the loss of loved ones, all of those, the loss of a job, which a lot of people are experiencing, just the loss of things that you weren't expecting. And life starts to shift in how you look at it.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you were in Dallas when this happened, so you didn't know what was going on with your home.
At all.
You didn't know what you were coming back to. And yet, in your thought process, you were like, you know what? Whatever it is, it's going to be okay.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I remember, just like in your earlier interviews, I think it was with Warren, you said that this hurricane was actually a blessing in a certain way, because the Charlottesville event, that actually happened just not too long ago for that. So it almost really strangers were helping other strangers. So
I like
was
that.
really
I
cool.
see you've been watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to get the small businesses.
Another shameless plug.
Yep, shameless
Exactly.
plug right there.
That's what we do here at the Simply Centrell Show.
Yeah.
We
Shameless
touch
plugs
all
day.
ages.
Yes, that's it.
But it really is about your outlook, because the family that we visited that lost everything, they were just sitting on their porch like this was a normal day, and they were like, we're going to get through this. God
Yeah.
made this happen for a reason,
Yeah.
and we're going to find the reason in it,
Yeah.
and look at the positives from it.
Yes.
Right. Well, one other story I'd like to share. I had an opportunity to interview a family. It was a family of, I believe it was 8, and it was a mom, and the youngest of her children and grandchildren was 4. And she was telling how the water was getting so high in the home that they had to leave out. The only thing was they didn't have anyone there to rescue them just yet, so they had to walk. And in walking, they were using a shovel to kind of help themselves through the water, just to feel the ground and feel what was around.
Yeah.
And there were power lines that were down in the water, so you know how dangerous that is.
Yeah.
You have to be really careful. A shovel, power lines
Ooh, that's
in the
scary.
ground. It's
That's
scary.
really scary.
And so she said how her 4-year-old grandson said, "Mommy, Jesus is going to take care of us." And I was like, wow. So your 4-year-old reminded you
Yes.
of that. And she was like, well, then I guess he's right. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously that had been put into him,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then he was just there to remind them, and they made it out. And now they're staying in a hotel, and then of course they are benefiting from all of the wonderful kind people that are bringing food and clothes and things like that. And I believe they have also received housing. So it's amazing. We don't realize that as we pour into people, they also become our strength.
Yes.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
that crazy?
That's
Oh,
really
wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's with everything, though. That's with social media. Like, you're really pouring into your followers as well. So
Yeah.
that's going to come back. So that's really something to think about. Yeah.
That is.
Yes.
Give a compliment.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
exactly.
got to do it. Yes.
Yeah, I see you.
To
I
put that
see
out.
you. So for your charities, for your projects, for your foundations, what are your goals? I mean, we are here in Hurricane Harvey. We know that this effort is going to continue, and there's efforts all around the world, and I wouldn't
Yes.
want to limit you to Houston. I could see your efforts going global. So the question is, what are your goals? We have so many people that are watching and listening and will see this video, in perpetuity. So
Yes.
what do you want them to know about the goals that you are trying to accomplish, which you've already done,
Yes.
and what you would like their help with?
So for me, I'll start with what I would like their help with. I would like more donations for AFA so that we can provide kids who have a little bit of a harder time with the funding to get into schools that may be able to help them with behavioral analysis and things like that. Because I know with my sister, they have to have ABA therapy every month, and it's expensive. It's like $2,000 minimum in order for your child to speak, which is something that most kids who don't have autism are already, they're already blessed with that.
Right.
So that's what I would like help with for AFA. And my goals for the charity are really just to continue to be more prolific in the community, to where people know that we're a resource they can come to if they need help, if they have kids with autism.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
And so is there a website for your foundation?
Yes. So it's Aesja.net. It's AESJA.net/AFFA. And all the information is on there.
Awesome. And Mom,
Yeah.
what
And
about
then
you?
for me with CaDori, my website is CaDori Brand, CaDoriBrand.net/helping hands. I would like to see more donations come in so I can continue to help the people from Hurricane Harvey and beyond. Eventually, I would like to be able to get a van, either donated or purchase it, so that I can go out into the communities and reach the people who do not have transportation and take food and clothing to them. My goal for this month is to touch at least 1,000 families. I've already touched probably over 300, and that's for the rest of this month. So that's my goal.
Yes. So my charity is the Act of Kindness Project, and that URL is JSean.com/Hurricane Harvey, and my other link is JSean.com/AOKP. And like I say, that charity is to aid the homeless, but all in all, it's a 360 charity. It's here to help everybody. Like, I just went to that orphanage today, and I was thinking, I said, you know what? these kids, they don't really have much of anything. I would like to donate even something like an Xbox to these kids, things that we have that they don't have that could really make their day. I would like to take them out on pizza dates or pizza lunches and stuff like that. So I would just like to get as many donations as I can so I can go around the world and really, help out these kids.
Yeah.
So
you all said some amazing things, and so I'm going to start with you, Kathy, because 300 to 1,000. We're at September the 19th. And so you want another 700 plus.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that means that
Yes.
everyone has to go out there and support Helping Hands. This is an organization that is going to get the funds and the necessities to those individuals right in their hands.
Yes.
We want those on the ground organizations, and whether they're faith-based or individual-based, this is how you can actually give.
Yes.
And because you're doing it of your own time, and you've got your little soldiers here, I know that they're helping out. We want to make sure that we support that. And so another 700, everyone please make sure that you are supporting Helping Hands. We want to make sure that we get you beyond that goal, right?
Yes.
Because this is just the start, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we also heard JSean, you were talking about the de-stressor, right? You were like Xbox, kids need to be kids.
Just the little things, the little things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. Yeah, there's necessities. You also have to take a break from the fact that you have a lot to regain, a lot to rebuild.
Really,
so,
yes.
So let's not forget that. We have to take a break from all of the heaviness of this and have some lighthearted moments, some fun, things like that. So please make sure that you are supporting the Acts of Kindness Foundation. We want to make sure that kids get to be kids even through this ordeal.
Yes.
That's absolutely important. And for Aesja, I know that autism is something that has touched many of my friends, and they've done a wonderful job of having walks and different charitable events that support autism.
Yes.
It's absolutely necessary that we fund it, because sometimes when kids don't get the resources, they don't get to fully blossom.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You can do so much in the home. Now, when you get the resources, you might realize that your child just needed that breakthrough.
Exactly. Yes. That's how it was with our nephew. Once he got ABA therapy, he started saying words, and we were just like, "This is really crazy." Off of just $2,000.
I know.
off of just giving.
Exactly.
And maybe even not able to give a financial gift. Maybe people who are interested in these types of causes.
Right.
It only takes a moment to share the information. You never know who stands behind a cause. So make sure to share and to support where you can. We have 3 great foundations, and don't forget that you can do some things on your own.
Exactly.
So we are going to take a break here. Remember to like, share, follow at Simply Centrell, Synergy Broadcasting, and we will be right back.
Yes.
This has been great. Welcome back. We are here on the Simply Centrell show. We are having lots of fun here in the studio. Thank you guys for participating and hanging in there with us as we talk about charity starting at home. We have had some amazing conversation.
Yes.
This giving can take on a whole new energy. I just kind of feel like it's an awesome thing. So make sure that you guys are liking, sharing, following.
Don't do it.
On
Don't do
Facebook at Simply Centrell. You got to watch it. It's crazy in the studio. No worries. You can leave it.
you.
Okay, so now that we're back, let's go ahead and talk about some of the life lessons, right? We're always talking about building a better you here. And as I like to say it, we say from the ground up. And from the ground up really kind of means each level, you know. So you guys are, teenagers, and you're moving through all of this stuff right now, and Mom and I are a little bit more mature, not too much more mature. We're just a little more mature.
Yeah.
So we have had an opportunity to learn a lot of lessons, and I say that at every level you're now building from the ground up again because you're learning new things.
Yeah.
So Tell me about some of the lessons that you've learned so far and the one thing that you kind of hold on to.
Yes, well, I've learned that we're really blessed, seriously. Like, if we think, I just think it's just others that are going through way worse than what we're going through. So that's just something to look at. We're really blessed just to smile. And hey, we have our life, health, and strength, so let's just keep moving forward.
Right.
Yes.
Those are not small things.
Yes,
right?
I know. Really.
I know we say them a lot, but really. I think the biggest life lesson I've learned is when our oldest brother, Deggy, passed away, and he was 25 at the time. So it just really put a fire under me, and I was like, I don't know how long I have on earth, and I just want to make the impact and do the purpose that God put in me to do. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned, is just to stay true to myself and chase whatever purpose God put into me.
I like that. That. What about you, CaDori?
Oh. I thought you were talking about the younger people. Anyway, the lessons that I've learned has been many. I'm a nurse, so I've seen people take their last breath. So I know life is precious. Plus, I did, we had a tragedy in 2010 when I lost my oldest son in a motorcycle accident. So that's been really hard. Like, at one point, I had to get psychiatric help.
Wow.
Because you could end up on drugs or alcohol after that. So I'm glad that I did, So I'm a person that promotes mental health. It's better to do that, and then you can have your sanity after that. So just from a different place for me, just life is very precious, and I don't really like dealing with a lot of nonsense. Like, I'm really quick to get away from it. I don't really like a lot of negativity.
I like that.
And I'm probably quicker to cut people off nowadays because I just don't have time for it. I honestly don't have time for it. I really don't. So that's something for me. I just value life, and I don't have time for that.
Always have to have scissors prepared to cut people off.
Did she say cut them with the scissors?
She
didn't say cut them with the scissors. She said cut them off.
Cut them off.
Like the ribbon. That's what she was saying. No, that's awesome, because you said a number of things there, right? Really? You see that life is precious, right? And you also realize that drama is not productive.
Right.
And you have to guard your circle. For every level, you're going to have to guard your circle.
Ooh.
You're going to keep trimming it. So that's what you need those hedge scissors for, right? You'll have to keep trimming it. And so it's amazing that you guys have such a great support system, because you need that support system.
Yes.
And Mom is leading the charge,
Yes,
right?
and
She's
shout out
leading
to
the way.
Dad.
Yep.
Shout out to Dad at home
I
right
don't
now.
know you, Dad.
Yeah.
Shout out from the Simply Centrell
Our
show.
dad and all of our siblings too. Like I said, our older sisters, Shay, Amber, and then our oldest brother, Deggy, for the motivation and everything.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, we just started them out at a young age, all of them volunteering, like in libraries. When they were like in 2nd and 3rd grade, we take them there, and they were like, how much money are we going to get paid? I'm like, you're not getting paid anything right now, but later on in life, you'll understand. And then our other daughters, when they were teenagers, they were like candy stripers at the hospital. So we've always been givers like that, know. So my husband, he just leads the way most times when it's like a hurricane or anything big, like, hey, y'all, let's just go volunteer, and we'll just get up and just go. It's not a big thing. We'll just get up and go do it. We don't make a big production about it.
I love it. I love it. And you said something key there, too. There's so many folks that when you ask them to do something, that's the first question. Yeah. Oh, how much am I getting paid?
I know.
You know what? Never mind.
Just forget it. Because you only want positive vibes, and sometimes when you cut people off, they come in groups.
Yeah.
But giving feels so good. Every time you give something, it feels good. Even if I just give somebody a little toiletry kit that they asked for, I feel good because I know that's something that they needed and they asked for, and I was able to deliver it. So I mean, I feel good giving. But like I said, I've been giving my whole life. So
well, I even find that it's one of those things that I'm drawn to. Like when you see that someone needs something, and a lot of people will probably attest to it. I always ask, well, what can I do for you? You know, let me know how I can add value. I think that when you add value to people, you only appreciate yourself. You know, you don't just appreciate yourself, you appreciate them as well. So the lessons that you guys have learned and shared with everyone, I think everyone's going to be able to glean from it. It has been amazing to have you guys here. And before we leave, I want to make sure that everyone knows how to stay connected with you because you're doing so many great things. So we'll start with you, Aesja.
So my Instagram is Aesja. Twitter's the same thing, just add an N on the end. And Facebook is the same, Aesjan. And then Jay can say it, and then we'll tell you guys the big news.
So my Instagram is at Lil JSean. Well, it's actually at Lil JSean on everything. Facebook, Lil JSean. Website, Lil JSean, LILJSEAN. And yeah, I think we may have some
What?
big news
You have some
coming
big
up
news? Are
in
we
a
about to
second.
do
Yeah.
a reveal?
We
Oh
are
my
doing
gosh.
a reveal.
The
Let's
big
see.
reveal.
Say it at the same time.
So this studio that we're in right now,
This one that we're in right now.
we're actually gonna have our own radio show right here too. So yeah,
We're gonna have our own radio show.
Nobody told me that. I didn't get the memo.
Yes,
What is happening?
I know. So it is a blessing. So you'll have to tune in. You know, it'll be every
Well-
Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So,
We're
yeah.
gonna give you guys
Yeah.
some more information on it later, but just stay tuned for that. That's just a quick plug.
Just a quick
Just a quick plug.
something
We
quick,
just
yes.
dropped a bomb, but you know.
Yes.
That was a big bomb. The bomb has been dropped. Make sure that you guys steer clear of the aftermath.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't want to miss you. Tell us
So proud of
again.
them. They're on radio show.
I know. Tell us again how we can stay connected with all of the efforts that you're doing and how everyone can learn a little bit more about what you're doing too.
Okay,
CaDori.
for me, CaDori Brand, CaDori brand, brand.net/helping hands. And that's to
Yes.
help people in need.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
our show has been all about giving, charity starting at home. You guys have been amazing. I am so excited for your show. I think that you're leading a charge of young people that are going to be responsible,
Thank you.
mature, and who are going to be about servicing our community in the right way. And that's
Yes.
what it's all about. We are role models first and examples sending good energy. So
Yes.
Hey, well,
thank
thank you for
you.
inviting us on the show. We really appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
positivity and your
We'll have you as a guest.
smile.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You guys are absolutely welcome. Remember, like, share, follow at Simply Centrell. We are on Synergy Broadcasting Radio, and we will be back next week. Don't miss us.
Yes.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.